I'm Doc.
And I'm Original J. Together, we're Lucky Boy Beard Company.
Buckle up. We're doing beard stuff.
Hello and welcome back to the secret undisclosed. Hello and welcome back to the secret undisclosed location, located 27 feet
Before?
before you get here.
We're going to get there.
Located 27 feet before you get here. Go ahead. Hello and welcome back to the secret undisclosed location. Now I want to say Lucky Boy's secret undisclosed location.
I don't have a remote control for this one. Read between the lines.
Hello and welcome to Lucky Boy's secret undisclosed location, located 27 feet below an unnamed speakeasy
We're rising.
in an abandoned IRS building.
They're gone.
Hooray!
We won. Freedom!
Hey, if you are interested in supporting Lucky Boy YouTube channel, please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe if you want to see more content and possibly Easter eggs. And please hit the share. Help spread the love.
That's what she said.
Sharing is caring. Also, comment. We always take suggestions for cigars, suggestions for a good scotch, or people asking, what the hell are you guys doing?
Well, we're having fun. I don't know if the 7 people out there are, but some of them have stuck around from the beginning.
To you 7 who are watching these videos,
God bless you.
God bless you. Okay, what's happening today?
Not much, but we're not going to be creative with a smoke today. We're going to go back to something we've had before because I like it that much.
Yeah.
Wrath, the Habano Wrath by Oliva, which was almost my first foray into a darker cigar a few weeks ago or a month or two back, whenever it was.
Can we drop the name? We're at a music venue in Danbury called Sugar Hollow. It's a live music venue. Just great local talent that is above and beyond. Never heard bad music there.
Killer place, fun place to hang out. I'm glad you turned me on to it. Always good bands, like you said.
Sugar Hollow, we should work out an event with them sometime. Maybe we'll do a live Lucky Boy cast there. Sorry. All right. Everything in its time. You ever worry about catching your entire beard on fire when
No.
you're with these torches? I kind of
Men
do.
don't worry about petty things. So we were at that bar a month back or so, month and a half back. And I had bought these because I love Oliva and I got a deal on these. And they were probably one of my earlier forays into a darker cigar. And I was blown away by them. You and I both smoked the first one together around the fire pit outside, and it is just a buttery, smooth smoke. I love this.
Yeah, I think this is the first Oliva that I've smoked that was in the Madura darker kind of leaf range, and it changed my mind. This cigar maybe changed my mind about Oliva, which I didn't not enjoy. It's a good lighter smoke because every Oliva I'd had prior to this was in that lighter range before even associating with you with Olivas. They have always, everything they make is good. They don't make a bad cigar, but this is definitely in my wheelhouse. It's in that top 20, the top 10 that's hitting around 30 or 40 cigars now.
I'd say it's about 37 or so in the top 10.
Exactly.
One per foot below.
Coincidentally, the exact number of feet below the speakeasy we're currently located.
Ironically enough, huh? It might have been planned that way.
Today, one of my favorite days, Jay bought both the cigar and the whiskey.
Do you look forward to these days? Like, do you plan them?
They're on
this
my
way?
calendar. On my calendar, like a gold star on the day that Jay brings both cigars and.
I don't get many gold stars, so I'll take it.
Well, it's not your gold star, it's my gold star. Hmm.
That is enjoyable. I love that.
So good.
So in keeping with me providing everything, I brought another Glenmorangie. This is a 14-year-old called the Quinta Ruban. It is a bourbon and port cask finished, similar to the one I brought a couple of weeks ago. And I came about it the same way. This was, again, a gift from my mother on my birthday.
You have to send your mom a thank you card. No, that's dangerously close to inappropriate.
She deals with dry skin, especially on her hands, and I have made it a point to get her a tub of Lucky Boy beard lube, as we discussed in the past,
Yes.
for her hands.
Oh, that is. I think that could be my favorite Glenmorangie right there. It's so rich. It's like a really. You can even tell from the color. It's not that golden nectar. It's really a darker.
It's even labeled for the UK market.
On the down low. On the down low. You know. So yeah, it's a darker, richer color, and that really reflects in the flavor. It's you get that you get that sweetness of the port cask, but you know we talked about ports in the past. I actually love ports. None of my friends really love to drink a port. Fell in love with ports in Portugal, and it's this rich, woody, tawny, earthy flavor that I just really dig. Oh, it is so present in this scotch. So present in this scotch.
And my experience with ports is very limited, and it's 20 plus years old. But what I know is that goes great with this stick. It's a good pairing.
And I don't think maybe that was your intention. I don't know, but I couldn't agree more. These two things complement each other so perfectly,
Even a squirrel finds a buried nut now and
as they say.
then. No shit luck. This was just the stick I was in the mood for today. That's why I brought it, and it was the next bottle in rotation.
I think we call it a happy coincidence.
It's better to be lucky than good.
It's better to be lucky than good.
I think I might have said that once or twice.
What are we talking about today, Jay?
Obviously, cigars and whiskey.
Well, there is that.
Was that the intent that brought us here, or is that just the?
Well, that's always the first reason.
It's not a bad reason. So you tell me, what are we discussing today?
All right, maybe this is my expanded ego or wishful thinking, but I notice more and more people noticing my beard. Sometimes they notice it when I do the stroke, the stroke of the beard, which is just my normal. You know, I do it. I don't know. It's not an affectation.
It's subconscious.
I just can't. Yeah, I just do it. Sometimes they notice. I'll catch side eye. You know, not a scowl, thankfully, but just like people noticing. Oh, kids notice the beard all the time.
I had a young girl, probably 5 years old, notice mine last night.
So they notice it because the beard is still not the most prevalent presentation of men in our current society. This idea of shaving off the thing that naturally grows on your face, you know, that's been going on for, I don't know, but in many generations past, facial hair was completely, or let's say more acceptable. Today,
So do you think it's a social constraint? Do you think it's something that societal evolution has brought us to a point where it's just not as socially acceptable as it has been in past cultures?
it would be interesting to look at the percentage of bearded men in any given generation. Right now, I think we're at about 30%. men in the United States. have-
Scientific number or straight out of your ass?
No, straight out of science. About something like 30-ish% of men in the United States wear some amount of facial hair. A lot of men, a lot of younger men don't wear full facial hair because they don't have the genetics to push out a big full beard. I have a lot of young friends that just have enviable ability to just like a chia pet blow out a beard like nothing. And I have other young friends and friends of my children who, they have spotty beards. It usually takes, for many men, it takes into your 20s, mid 20s and even early 30s before you can really produce a full-on beard, like a full beard. Some genetically, some cultural, some
Well, you see,
like Italians might tend to have a more fuller beard. There's different societies, or I don't know the word I'm looking for, that might genetically be hairier, hairier men, and that might be arms and backs and chests, and they're gonna push. So Greeks are good with beards. The Greek man can push out a good beard. I'm a Scotsman. I think Scotsmen, with the amount of fullness of blood that I have in my line, are good at beards. All my Scottish relatives are well bearded, right? So part of it is who can do a beard. Part of it is, are they socially acceptable now? And it's like it's almost like tattoos. Like not too long ago, bearded men were the radical edge because nobody else was wearing beards. People getting tattoos were the radical edge because nobody was getting tattoos. Then everybody started getting tattoos, and more people started wearing beards. That might be where we are now.
so I think there's a lot to be said for, and you use the terms genetic and cultural, but I think a lot of it is evolutionary. Yeah, right. And there's the genetics play because it tends to be that and it's only been the last 150 years, right, where people all over the earth are migrating further. But culturally and evolutionary,
Close enough.
Yeah,
Close enough.
I'll just
Go
pull
with
that one out. Yep, we'll go with it. From an evolutionary perspective, it's the societies that are in colder climates or seasonal variational climates that have the genetic predisposition to having thicker and fuller beards as opposed to the warmer climates, because from an evolutionary perspective, the body has evolved over millions of years to not need certain features or to need certain features. So you look at, a lot of your Central American native peoples and cultures, there is no facial hair at all because the body's evolved over millennia to not need it. Because from a climatological perspective, the body doesn't need the warmth, right? And hair is the body's natural warmth. You think there's something there? Because that's what I see. I see a lot of your warmer climate native peoples that don't have the thickness and the fullness in the facial hair as you do when you start to get into more temperate and more seasonal change areas. Once you get above, and I don't know the numerical latitude numbers, but you get into
the equator.
Right, you get into those higher areas of the world and the colder climates, the climates that go through winters that are cold. That's when you start to see those historical societies that have thicker and fuller beards, right? You don't always see it in your warmer climate people.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
But that's my perspective. I could be wrong. That's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, I think we see a lot of South American cultures that put out glorious beards. I think maybe where we see.
Well, South America gets some cold winters too.
Well, you're not wrong.
Argentina and Chile and up in the mountains there.
I think we get a lot of questions from our Lucky Boy users and people asking us questions about growing beards and maintaining beards, and I'm seeing where a lot of Asian men or Middle Eastern or Far Eastern men may struggle with the production of full beards. Maybe they want to wear a beard, but it might be a little lighter, a little patchier. The beard hair is a little different than the beard hair of other cultures, and they might struggle to produce a full beard. But even that's not consistent. Like even in
Well, I don't think there's any consistency today because our cultures are so interdispersed and interbred over, like I said, at least the last few hundred years where societies have traveled.
And the truth is, from every society and every culture, we can see examples of glorious beardsmanship. Like it doesn't matter so much who and where, but it is a curious topic of conversation. Why do some cultures or some regions produce men who genetically struggle with the production of a beard? And is it related to geography and climate? Yeah, I mean, there could be some. It would be interesting information to unpack.
But I would have to imagine there's a certain level of evolutionary development in that. Right? I mean, we had gills and fins at one point. We don't need gills and fins now. At least I believe we had gills and fins.
You go back far enough, yeah, we all crawled out of the ocean. Or a entity decided that men are going to start. It's okay.
We don't want to make this a religious versus
it's
evolutionary
not.
discussion.
Everybody has their theory, their belief. We don't throw shade on any of that. Monkeys tend to have good beards. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what I want to say about that. It's possible we've gone way off topic.
Well, we're kind of on topic, but maybe not.
Mm.
So I guess
So there's across all cultures, facial hair is either ascendant or on the downhill during periods of time.
so it's on the denouement. It has crescendoed, and it is now in the denouement.
What the hell? You never cease to surprise me. Yes, that is correct. When were you a music major? I don't know, but okay. Yes, that is absolutely correct, and it applies as a metaphor for beard growth across.
We keep pouring this stuff, and you never know what's going to come out of me.
We could be building electric cars and rockets to Mars at any minute now. It could just burst forth fully. Yeah. Okay.
I never studied music theory. It just came.
Okay.
In a dream, in a vision.
It
was just there.
In a fever dream. Right.
Now that I have crescendoed.
So listen, in the Western culture, I think beards may be ascendant. I think more and more men are wearing beards. It's more and more acceptable. We're seeing it in corporate culture, where at best a close cropped beard was acceptable. We see even a lot of CEOs and executives wearing full beards. I'm down with that because, truth be told, these conventions that we have, they're all manufactured. Whether it's appropriate or in vogue to wear facial hair or not, it's just like some people decided that's what it is, and that's where the lemmings went. That's where the herd went. I got tattoos before tattoos were like what everybody does. I had facial hair when not
Don't
everybody.
ask him to see the butterfly in his left butt cheek. It's not flattering.
Mm, mm.
It does not look like a butterfly anymore. It's like never mind. Nobody wants to know.
You know, my butt cheek is one of the few things that haven't changed that much over the last 30 years. Right. Thank God I didn't get a belly tattoo.
Well, just think of it. Just like over time, the what's the term for when your money goes down in value?
Demonetization?
No, like what do they call it when the cost of goods goes up every year? What's the financial term?
Depreciation? Oh, inflation.
Inflation, right. So if you had gotten a belly tattoo 30 years ago, just think of the inflationary value of that tattoo today. It'd be twice the size for the same initial price.
Hey, so I've got that going for me. Anyway, back to the beard thing. What's your experience of beardliness out in the world?
So I tend to agree with you that in our local society, at least regional to New England, where I spend most of my time, that the population of bearded men is increasing from what I would have noticed, let's say maybe 20 years or so ago. And it's not just the short crop beards that are easier and quicker for people to get into, but the longer beards. I'm seeing more and more bigger, fuller beards than I believe I would have seen. And now I wasn't in the industry 20 years ago, right? So I wasn't necessarily looking for it. But
Right.
as a societal whole, as an observational whole, I believe that there's a lot more today than there was 20 years ago. And I can't tell you what the driving motive behind that is, or what the catalyst is that brought that.
Right.
It's just my perception.
So,
And I think that women's acceptance of beards is increasing also, right? I'm seeing more and more where in the past I know of situations where women say, I wish he'd shave that shit off. Whereas now it's everywhere you turn, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever the new, cool app of the day is, that there's women out there that are like, if you've got a beard, oh yeah. I'm just seeing that more and more. It's becoming an everyday thing. Whereas before it was like, okay, there's a few guys with beards, but the overall society as a whole doesn't have it.
and listen, it comes down to preference. Everybody has their preference. Men and women have their preference of what they like. I will say this. Well, first of all, I never grew my beard for anybody else. I grew a beard because I wanted to grow a beard. I didn't grow a beard because I thought, oh, that's trendy. I didn't grow a beard because, oh, the ladies are going to like it. I grew a beard with the attitude of, you don't like my beard? I'm glad I didn't grow it for you, or we'd both be disappointed, right? I grew my beard because I wanted to grow a beard. And also because I am kind of in a phase in my life where it's like I don't really care what somebody else thinks. I mean, I appreciate when I get a good beard compliment. I like that. Who doesn't, right? Who doesn't like to get recognized for a look, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I could live my whole life without anybody saying anything positive about my beard and be okay with that because
You're doing it for you.
Zulu Foxtrot, baby.
So I started growing a beard immediately after high school. And the reason why I did, I went to a Catholic high school. And we had rules and we had dress code. We were required to shave every day.
Mm,
If there was a 5 o'clock shadow, we'd get written up for it. It wasn't allowed.
yeah,
And I'm like, who the hell are you to tell me what I do with my facial hair? It's not your job. It's not your concern. And how the hell does it affect my ability to learn? Right? So Why should a bunch of nuns tell me that I'm not allowed to have facial hair?
Right.
So that was the catalyst for me. That was the point where I said, F you, this is what I want to do.
Meanwhile, every icon on the wall was a bearded Messiah.
Right, right. Every historical figure, every religious figure, Moses and Jesus and everybody else, not Jesus, I'm sorry, everybody had a friggin' beard down to here.
In all the iconography. Yes,
Right.
Exactly.
Yep. And
So
they're
that
telling
always
us that we
struck me
can't
as-
have a beard.
Oh, it struck me as weird.
So yeah, so summer would come along and I'm like, I'm done with this. And since high school, I graduated in 96. I'm a little bit younger than you, but not young by any
A
means.
month or two.
Yeah, good try. Sorry, it's there's a little coarse note in that
Yeah.
cigar. Ever since then, I'm like, well, now I want to grow a beard because I was told not to. So I don't think there was anything other than the environment that I was in for 4 years that made me want to grow a beard, other than the fact that I was told I'm not supposed to. And that's why I did. And since 96, I've never touched a razor to this face. I've used clippers and I would knock it off. You know, the whole thing would disappear, but it would be with a clipper. So I've got a week-old beard when I start because I won't actually use a razor.
I remember the first time that since we've known each other, you did that. It was like I got punched in the face. I was like, what happened there? Please grow that beard back.
Guys,
Not that you didn't look good. You're a handsome guy. You look good. You look good with or without. But I'm like, your beard is how I know you. It was like literally. I remember when so in the Navy, all you could grow technically was a porn mustache. So I sported a porn mustache through my military career.
bow chicka bow wow.
All right. So, but I remember I had a beard. My daughter, my first daughter was 1 year old. I went in the bathroom. This was
1 years old.
1 year old. I went in the bathroom after this was post military. I went in the bathroom, shaved it all off, clean shaven. My then wife and my daughter walk into the bathroom, and I turn around, and like literally, they were so shocked. There was some fear in their eyes because they're like, who's in the bathroom? It's like, no, it's just me without my beard.
See, my problem is gray aside. If I shave this off, I get carded at a liquor store. I look like I'm 12 years old all over again.
Okay.
Baby.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
That's an image I don't want to see. It's just hard for me. It's hard for me to think about you looking like a baby.
It's like the fountain of youth, though, right? I found eternal youth. All I have to do is grow a beard, shave it, and I'm 10 years younger.
Well, certainly, if the secret police ever go looking for you, shave your beard completely off. They'll never find you. Even facial recognition wouldn't be able to find you.
Well, that's the thing with facial recognition. It's only picking up shapes and features of this. It's
That's true.
losing a third of the structure, if not more.
Homeland Security, we have no plans of disappearing from the grid. Please disregard any part of this conversation.
We walk around with a tracking device 24/7. Nobody's disappearing from
Nobody's
anything today.
disappearing from the grid. Don't fool yourself, brothers. All right, man.
That's a great scotch. I'm enjoying that.
That is a great scotch. We're going to continue enjoying this scotch and cigar, but we're going to let you guys go. Remember, hit like, subscribe, comment, share, and make recommendations.
Yes, we had a cigar that was recommended by a user a little while back, and that was great. Thank you all. Please recommend, because it's nice to find something that we might not have found on our own. It's almost exciting.
In the whiskey world, in the cigar world, there is so many things we have yet discovered. And yeah, share us your thoughts and ideas.
Thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. Please invite your friends. Sláinte.
It's not July.